Good afternoon and welcome to Valley News Now, RedHawks Weekly, RedHawks Daily, really, Devin.
An emergency RedHawks Weekly.
Emergency RedHawks Weekly here.
That makes it sound a little bit more dire than it is, I guess.
No, it's actually pretty good news
a happy
for
occasion.
RedHawks fans, for sure.
Yes, exactly.
All-Stars, hey now, you're an all-star. I mean, maybe not
Me?
you particularly.
I did not get invited to the All-Star game this year. However, 3 members of the RedHawks roster did.
They got Smash Mouth called them.
I don't know if
personally.
Smash Mouth themselves, like the band, I don't know if they called.
Oh.
And were like, hey now,
Somebody did.
you're an all-star. But someone did, probably from the league office.
More likely than Smash Mouth.
There actually might not have been a call. They might have
Maybe
just
it was a text, email.
or a tweet.
Yeah.
With the announcement.
Yeah.
Then maybe they learned when we did. But anyway,
Yeah.
point is, there's 3 members of the FM RedHawks being represented on the American Association All-Star rosters. 2 of them pitching, and you talked to Davis Feldman yesterday. That turned out to be extremely timely, Adam. Great work there.
Thank you very much. I do the best I can. And here's the tweet. Maybe this is how they found out. But here's the
in my
here's the
brain.
All-Stars.
In my brain, that is how they found out. Davis Feldman makes total sense. Leads the team in basically every pitching category but ERA. And the leader in ERA is also represented. Jake Dykoff out of a Minnesota Crookston product. He's in his 2nd consecutive All-Star game, so a pretty fantastic journey there for Jake Dykoff. He's last year he got kind of thrown into a role as a starter when he was really, his strength is as a late reliever, and we've seen that this year. His ERA leads the team so far this year.
1.48. Are you kidding me?
That might lead the league. Now, granted, it is in 30 innings of work, but that's still pretty impressive. Obviously good enough to qualify there. Yeah, this has Ty Colbreth from Sioux Falls as the leader, maybe because of the number of
Usually there's a qualifier.
innings. Yeah, you know,
there.
baseball, fun baseball stats.
Yeah.
And then
Minimum innings pitched per team. So
per
0.8.
game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Per game, yes.
So we'll get to the bottom of that a little bit more. But no, the RedHawks pitching staff very well representative on this All-Star team. Offensively, I was a little surprised. There's only one man, and he is a reserve. Ishmael Alcantara.
How is he a reserve?
That's a fantastic question, Adam.
Come on,
I'm
man.
not gonna. I don't want to make any waves here, but he is a reserve.
I'll make waves. He's the best player in the league right now.
And that is a take. But he is 2nd in the entire American Association in RBI or in batting average, I should say, and all of his stats take into account that he just spent a couple weeks down in Mexico.
Yeah.
And so
Let's
he
pull that back up.
missed
Just
a
look
good
at some of the
handful of games
here.
there. Yeah.
He's batting 348.
Yes.
And where is stolen bases?
Stolen bases is not on here. However, he leads that by a wide margin. I do have it pulled up on my phone. See, I came prepared for this. Stolen bases, Ishmael Alcantara has, well, it would be better if I wasn't looking at pitching stats, but he has 36 stolen bases so far this year, and that leads everybody by, pulling it up now, whatever, someone's going to need to do math for me. I'm not a math guy. 36 minus 20, that's easy.
That's 13.
Leads by 13. I know that much kind of
do
math.
that one.
And again, that factors into the fact that he was down in Mexico for a little bit. So who knows what those would be. He just scored he stepped on home plate for what was the winning run in yesterday's walk-off win. So
he had
immediately,
a homer on Sunday.
Exactly. Immediately jump back into it. So Alcantara, I would argue, should be a starter, but
I don't know if he's literally the best player. That was Feldman's take, to be fair. If you watch the show regularly, Feldman was calling him the best player in the league yesterday. I think that maybe a little bit better than your typical reserve. I honestly think that he could be in the MVP discussion at the very least.
I think he will be towards the end of the year, and that once the memory of him going to join the Mexican League kind of fades away, I think that will be more of a discussion there. But no, Ishmael Alcantara has absolutely had an all-star season, and he's going to be on the all-star team. I don't want to make it sound like he's being disrespected by bringing him in as a reserve. He's still a member of the all-star roster. He's still on the West Division all-star team. I just think he should have a starting role on that team, personally.
I agree with you.
And Davis Feldman, Jake Dykhoff also absolutely earned their roles as well. So 3 RedHawks on the West Division All-Stars. If we could pull up the West Division, I wouldn't mind seeing them.
Let's see. Do you want to look at the pitchers or the?
Both of them. We'll start here.
All right, let's start here.
Yeah, and we see plenty of representation. I saw there were 3 members of the Lincoln Salt Dogs, which was interesting. Winnipeg's pitchers also well represented in this one. But, you know, when you look around, it's the West Division's really strong.
It is. And it's also a fun little conversation. Who has the best pitching staff in the West? Is it Winnipeg? Is it the RedHawks?
Yeah, you know? And that we're going to be having that debate for quite some time.
Yeah.
And there's the West pitching staff. Yeah.
West pitching staff here, yep.
But, Dykhoff and Feldman, that's a fun group making their way down to Legends Field for the All-Star game. Hopefully Legends Field is able to play that All-Star game, but
that's a whole different
topic for another day. But the RedHawks might actually not be done. There's one open spot left in the West Division All-Stars, and the American Association does a cool thing where they leave it up to a vote. They throw in a handful of guys that didn't quite make the cut, but if you vote them in, then they will get that last roster spot, and the RedHawks have one more pitcher on the list. This guy, Tyler Grauer. He is second on the team in wins behind Davis Feldman. He's right up there. He might lead in strikeouts. I'm going to pull that up now. But he has had another fantastic year. So Tyler Grauer also is somebody that could have grabbed one of these all-star spots.
Sure.
And so now it's kind of up to you, the viewer of RedHawks Weekly sitting at home, to bring Tyler Grauer in. And yeah, you see.
Here's the team stats.
Yeah.
RedHawks pitching team stats here.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know, maybe we can sort by a few things here. Right now sorted by ERA. Which one do you want to look at?
Let's do wins here.
Okay.
And then we'll look at. I imagine we'll see a good.
And there you go.
Yeah, 44 strikeouts, leading the team in that category. He's a strikeout machine. Wow, Kevin Pilot's right behind him with 43. Interesting.
Yeah, and Pilot he gets some balls, but he gets a lot of strikeouts too.
Right, and so really, Grauer could also make this roster, and he still can. And so we'll see how the rest of this all-star roster shakes out as this continues on, but good representation for the RedHawks. Sure. I will make arguments for Evan Alexander every single year with how much he brings to the team.
Well, also just so clutch.
We saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Dylan Thomas, if he wasn't hurt right now, I feel like he'd be an all-star.
Yeah.
I don't have any kind of inside track to that.
The season, I believe he was ranked, I want to say number 3, don't quote me, but I remember at least top 5 best players in the league.
Exactly. And he was right up there with Alcantara right before he got hurt, as far as like team stats go. So, I mean, Dylan Thomas could have made that roster. He's banged up. Manager Chris Coase told us he's hopefully back in the lineup soon.
It's nothing serious.
No.
At this point, it's also like, Feldman was originally going to get the start yesterday.
Right.
They went with Pilot, but it's just that time of the year where you do want the good managers aren't necessarily hyper-focused on wins and losses. They're hyper-focused on the long game, and that's staying healthy. This is the time to rest your guys unless they're 100%.
Your first spot in the division isn't going to mean anything if half your roster's hurt going into the playoffs.
Yeah, the Tom Thibodeau.
There you go, that method, exactly. The old do your job, stop being soft mentality. No, Chris Coase, obviously, the RedHawks are in good hands there. He knows how to manage those lineups, and so Dylan Thomas is probably out. We're not sure how much longer, but he's just kind of getting back to 100% because that's what they want him at. And when he's at 100%, he's an all-star.
And he's obviously not too hurt if he's still out there doing pinch running.
Right, he's pinch running. He was first base coach a few times. He's out there calling shots. And so, no, I think there could have been more members of the RedHawks roster selected, but the 3 that they have absolutely deserve it. We were talking about Jake Dykhoff's ERA, 1.48 ERA. It's still absolutely crazy.
Just looking at some of the leaders here, I mean, you can see it's just so well-rounded. Peter Brookshaw, I don't think he necessarily got snubbed, but this guy, who we've had a close eye on the last few years, is a member of the Bison, but holy cow, has he really showing off that power lately? Been a key addition to this team. One of the higher batting averages on the team. Like, that's a guy who's an all-star caliber. I'm not going to say all-star. I'm going to say all-star caliber player in Brooks Shaw. All-star caliber player in Alexander, who's leading with 9 home runs.
Kona Quiggle.
Kona Quiggle.
Kona Quiggle could, yeah, exactly. Kona Quiggle could be an all-star. It all just depends on how much representation they want from each team on these rosters. Which, like, as the league, you have to do that because this isn't Major League, but these aren't fan voted. Yeah. Like, this is the league choosing representatives from these teams, and so like some of that has to go into account too. Every team's going to get some representation in Kansas City, and so I'm not saying that anyone's getting held back to get representation from other teams in there, but it is a factor as far as that goes because Evan Alexander could be an all-star, Peter Brookshaw could be an all-star, Kona Quiggle, the list goes on and on. And we'll see if Tyler Grauer gets in. I personally hope he does because I think he deserves a spot in there. But again, I want to make it very clear, the 3 guys that they got in there absolutely deserve this opportunity. And so it's going to be cool to see some RedHawks representation down in KC.
And honestly, folks, just vote.
Yeah.
You know, like,
do your part.
If you want to see Grauer get in, and I do.
I do.
You know, we do.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Don't you?
Why don't you?
Yeah.
Now I'm being confrontational about this.
Devin will fight you.
No. But no, do your civic duty. Go vote for Tyler Grauer to get into the All-Star game.
The Big Sycamore, as Jack Michaels likes
Jack Michaels with his beautiful nicknames. The Big Sycamore might be one of the best.
That is definitely one of the best nicknames. But no, I think
because he's an Indiana State guy, right?
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's super deserving. He's leading the team in strikeouts, and I don't want to put you on the spot last night, but did the RedHawks allow any home runs last night?
Not any home runs that I recall.
So,
no. Sioux City's first run was a bases loaded walk, and then they had a single later on.
It was 2-0, and then it was 2-2.
Right.
And
so no, they didn't give up any home runs.
So there's still, I believe, the mark was 28. You know, like the next best mark, and this is as of yesterday. I haven't looked at today, but the next best mark was 36 homers allowed as a team. This is a pitching staff that has been among the best in the league, if not the best in the league. And so when you look at, okay, who's leading that staff in strikeouts, it's Grauer. I think all jokes aside, like, he deserves to be.
Yeah, 100%. And as well as Feldman and Dykhoff. So I'm not angry by any means at the representation for the RedHawks in this All-Star game. I think there could have been more, but that every team can make that argument right now, except for maybe Cleburne. The Cleburne Railroaders had 7 All-Stars.
Holy cow.
It was so, like, maybe they don't have room to complain. I think every other
and the Railroaders having a great year.
Oh, they're insane this season. Yeah. So I didn't look too deeply at the East, but no, it's going to be a fun All-Star game. And then
let's take a look at these just for fun.
While we're here, this is the last vote in for
the East.
The East. And
this Sims guy's been really good.
From Lake Country, yeah.
He's been really nice.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to get this last spot in the East. That's interesting. But no, here's the All-Star rosters for the East. If we want to pull that up for the people to see, or they could just stare at us watching at a computer.
Good catch.
That's also fun.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, no, here's the East. The biggest standouts here. We don't see a lot of East. Not a lot of Milwaukee Milkmen, which is rare. Yeah. But that's kind of the season that we're having at this point.
Just one Milkman. A lot of dogs out there.
A lot of dogs. Yep. And Josh Altman at third. He's probably the going to be the standout from this East roster.
Might be the front runner for MVP right now.
Yeah, he's putting on a show this season, and so I mean it's going to be. That reply says just about an all Cleburne starting lineup, which is correct, but that's fair. They've earned it. But no, I'm excited for the All-Star game. It's one of my favorite things to look for every single year. The beard on Mueller down there is fantastic.
That is impressive. Yeah.
Now there's a single Milwaukee Milkman on the pitching staff as well. So Milwaukee got a little bit of representation, but it's just not the level that it's normally Kansas City, Fargo, Moorhead, Milwaukee, and Chicago are just loading these rosters up. But this year, just a lot more parity in the league.
And there's the vote in.
Oh yeah, for the East.
For the East as well.
Yep. So if you have any. If you really want any of these guys, let's do this live on air. Let's vote for Tyler Grauer right now.
Yeah, let's do it. No, we have to go to the West here. We're voting for Tyler Grauer right here. And I'm going to vote for Josh Allen.
Yep, I agree.
And then
is this private information?
This part, you guys all know.
Yeah, you know his name.
You know who I am, but you don't need my email address. So I'm going to take this off the screen at this juncture. I'm going to reroute us back over here.
Just trust us when we say that we definitely put our vote in for Tyler Grauer live on the air.
Why don't you narrate me?
This is unprecedented. Oh, you want me to narrate it? Okay.
You do some
ATA.
Oh, whoa.
No, but this is unprecedented. I don't know if. Ooh, Wyatt Ulrich from Sioux Falls could also get in. Never mind, we're voting for Grauer. I forgot what we were doing already. So,
yeah.
Okay, our vote for Grauer is in.
We just voted, and now let's show him the thank you. All right.
So you have proof.
Yeah.
So you know that we voted
live on RedHawks daily.
Unprecedented. Never been done before.
Literally never
breaking new ground, Adam. This is good.
Yeah, that's huge for us. I think that's all we got to talk about today.
Yeah. Watch the All-Star game.
Yeah, watch the All-Star game. We got another RedHawks game tonight, do we not?
Yes, against Sioux City once again. 7:02 first pitch, or as close to 7:02 as they can. And I'll be there. We're going to have highlights tonight on Valley News Live at 10. Yesterday was a free hat giveaway for the RedHawks. I don't know what they're doing. I didn't get a free hat, which was very upsetting. So if any of you don't want your free hat, you can send it to the station.
We'll find one for you. We'll find one for you. I feel like those are always kind of.
If there's one thing I need, it's more hats. But they got 3 more games against Sioux City on the docket before they hit the road to Milwaukee. And then the All-Star break coming up quickly after Kane County comes to town. So, no, it's going to be.
All-Star break, then King County.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's going to be such a fun series.
Yeah, no. And Kane County has had a remarkable season.
I was actually just texting with some friends in Geneva.
Oh yeah, you're a big Kane County Cougars fan.
I'm from Geneva.
Yeah,
you know, and so I was texting with some of those guys, and like it is fun. As I say every week when I talk to you, I make a point to say I don't watch Major League Baseball.
Right,
I only watch American Association.
We're big American Association fans.
But
it's like how I barely know what goes on in the FBS anymore. I'm so locked into FCS football. Exactly.
Yeah. So but it is fun, like texting some of my high school buddies and be like, hey, Cougars having a real nice year.
And they're like, what are you talking about?
No, they're going
Leave
to these
me
games.
alone.
They're like, I thought I blocked your number years ago, Adam.
Go away, Adam. I don't know what these texts are about. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Get to the game. Do your part. Vote for Grauer.
Text your friends. Tell them about the Kane County Cougars.
Send them. Do that. Send your friends the link to vote for Grauer. Do your part. We're all counting on you.
Even if they're not watching the team.
And there's Davis Feldman.
Oh, yeah. Let's get our video in. There we go.
Or should we look at some Alcantara?
Yeah. There we go.
Why not?
And there we go.
Look at that speed. You're telling me this guy's a reserve? All right. Until next time, folks, that's all on RedHawks